Hey you, what's good? A long time since my last Gran Turismo video. But here I am, I did it. I went to see the Gran Turismo movie. Did you know it was based on real events?
Gran Turismo, based on a true story.
Sadly, I went to the most horrible cinema in Estonia, even maybe in the world, Apollo, but more about that a bit later. Gran Turismo movie was awesome. It had everything. The most classic hero's journey. It had the villain, the romance,
the desire,
the action and redemption. A victory against all odds. And did you know it was based on real events?
bruh.
I can confidently say that this has to be one of the best movies made in the last decade. But let's be honest, the bar was set already very low, since we've been spoon-fed with woke bullshit. But back to the movie. I remember years ago, stories lingering, especially when I was playing GT. A few of my friends mentioned, do you know that this guy really got picked to drive for real? You know the guy who got picked? I heard it more than 5 times if I remember correctly. But I always kinda brushed it off. It wasn't something that piqued my interest, to be honest. I was on my own hero's journey, so I didn't pay that much attention. Then around 2019, whispers began circling that there was going to be a movie about this. Then my friends said like, oh, you know, they are going to make the movie, you know, about this guy who got picked, you know the guy? No, I don't know the guy. But a movie about Gran Turismo.
So good.
Considering that Gran Turismo Sports had been out for 2 years, and it turned out that this was a prologue for nothing, the game was shit to me. I hated the menu, I hated the amount of cars, I hated that you had to buy new cars with real money, so at peak the game had 338 cars, added gradually in the lifespan of this game. 2 years after the game's initial release, we still had 4 times less cars than in GT6.
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
So Gran Turismo brand was looking bleak, and it kind of felt that Gran Turismo brand was losing touch to its fans. For me, Gran Turismo was only living in 1999 and 2004, where Gran Turismo 2 and Gran Turismo 4 released. The best freaking Gran Turismos ever made. Okay, 6 was good as well, many cars. But back to the movie. I do have a few problems with it. You're no silly with the problems again. So on the commercial image of Gran Turismo movie, we see a poster where Jan is holding PlayStation 5's controller, where in fact he used wheel and pedals. Even the movie begins with Jan getting a new wheel. Considering that the movie depicts him in the beginning of his hero's journey, he should have held PlayStation 3 controller. The latest, meaning that the timeline is not respected, somewhat. At one point in the movie, the hero makes a gift to his mentor, and it's an MP3 player, which would have made sense at that time, but it doesn't in this particular case, where everyone in the movie has the latest smartphones, most advanced superphones you can buy. So in the movie, Jan had to place 4th in one of the 7 competitions to be eligible for his FIA license. That's basically before anything in the movie takes place, aka the beginning of the second act, conquer the first obstacle, but in real life, he didn't finish 4th in any of the races prior to 24-hour Le Mans, where in the movie he had already acquired the license. Now, some more errors with the timeline, which were most likely edited in a way to kind of make this hero comeback loop complete. The redemption arc. So the movie ends with the Le Mans race, which was held in 2013, 2 years after he finished GT Academy. In the movie, you see the main protagonist suffering from emotional trauma caused by the accident in Nuremberg prior to Le Mans race. Here is the actual footage of this accident. His car basically acted like a wing and took off, unfortunately killing one spectator. So he had to get back on the horse, get back into racing with all his might to take the place on the podium, which he did. But in reality, the accident on Nuremberg track took place in 2015, 2 years after he had won 3rd place on Le Mans. But I get it. It's all made in a way to make it all work. So, I mean, that's okay. Now, one final thing. When the movie begins, you see his games. From Gran Turismo 2 to Gran Turismo 6. Even GT3 prologue is included. But in Jan's documentary, he mentioned that first game he played was Gran Turismo 1 in 1997.
I can remember the first time I played Gran Turismo 1 on a standard definition 30-inch TV screen which had the worst pixel count you could imagine.
And Gran Turismo 1 isn't in the movie. So that's weird. I have all Gran Turismo games, including Gran Turismo 1. But my favorite still is here and here. But enough criticism. Music in Gran Turismo games is always awesome. And music in this movie is very awesome as well. So fantastic work, Lauren Balfe and Andrew Kovchinski. Now the movie theater I went to served a horrible popcorn. An ugly reminder from my past. I also made a video about one guy ruining popcorn for everyone in Estonia, and it should pop up right here somewhere. Definitely give it a watch and you will see why cinema culture is taking a nosedive in Estonia. If you're interested in more movie reviews, then some of those might pop up here. But I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like, smash that bell, and if you dare, subscribe as well. I'm Sillyllamaz and thanks for watching. Till next time.